Yeah. The icon that you saw, that actually came from the HVAC Army from Troy. And we were discussing how we wanted my icon to be. And I was like, look, I want to be able to incorporate my nickname. I want to incorporate the fact that I'm a teacher and the fact that I'm a technician. So he drew a pig with the chalkboard, the graduation cap. And I had a piece of chalk in one hand and a voltmeter in the other. And I was like, that's perfect. That is perfect.
It's an awesome logo, man. It's definitely custom, and just knowing you for the short time, I definitely think it's fitting. So that's cool. It's custom. It's not some logo you found on the internet that you made your picture.
It fits me perfectly because it's got everything about me in that picture. My nickname with the pig, pork chop, the teaching, and I'm a service tech with the meter. So it fits me perfectly, and I love it.
I know we're almost at an hour, and there's so many things that because of my big mouth, I haven't even got to ask yet. So
ask away.
Yeah. So real fast, like, what is like your graduation rate? Like, how many of these guys are you keeping track with people when they leave? Like, are they coming back after they get a job? Like how's that going?
Well, most of the guys are actually in the trade. I know that. I'll see them out in the field and stuff on the road and everything else in supply houses. The ones that aren't in the trade, we let them know who's hiring so they can try to get jobs and everything else in the trade. Usually I'll see the guys and they'll come back and they'll tell me the stuff you taught in class, the stuff I learned, it's all clicking in my head and everything else. I had one guy, I'll make the story short, but he was having a little left-handed cigarettes before he came to class, and I found out about it. I told him, look, dude, stop doing that before you come to class. Come to class clean and normal. Listen to what I have to say and everything else. He started doing that and listening to me. And as he went out in the field and started running more and more calls, everything started to click in his head. He was like, this is making sense now. It's helping out. He's had a rough life, had a drug stuff in his past and everything. Girlfriend, 2 kids he's helping raise with her. I know where he's coming from. I know how he is, and he had a good heart and stuff. So at the end of the semester, I went up to this carrier, bought him a leak detector, a meter, and a carbon monoxide detector from Field Piece, and a set of gauges. And I told him to go up to carrier. There's something there for him. And the guys said when he walked in and they placed that stuff on the counter for him and said, here you go, this is for you. They said he just lost it and started crying.
That's awesome, dude.
So to me, I've always given back to this industry one way, shape, or form. Guys are calling me from class after they graduate and say, hey, Teach, can you help me out with this service call? I'm stuck on something. Not a problem. Or I'm teaching this, or I'm doing whatever I can to help people out.
Good on you, man. And it's awesome you have that. It's almost like they're your children, and it's a proud dad moment that you look after them. And we need more people like you, man, in the industry. I've always tried to be the same way that I tried. That's why I started doing the podcast. I wanted to try to give back to the industry so people could meet people like you and others and talk about topics all surrounding the trade. Like last week was mental health. We might talk about static pressure one week or whatever it is, just to create these discussions and make us all better. Like, I don't know everything, man. This podcast, I learned stuff from people. I'm like, oh, I didn't know about that. Or I didn't know you could do that. I always did it this way. That's so much better than the way I do it. It's just about constantly trying to keep better and giving back to the other generation. That's why I like, especially with some of the social media, like I know I have one of the biggest Facebook groups, but I kind of hate that platform because it's like, kill yourself and, oh my God, your job looks like crap and blah, blah, blah. But when you go on, like, I think TikTok's amazing, the Instagram community, what we do with some of these shows and stuff like that, where it's just positive and helping each other and picking each other up. And that is exactly what we need. And I always joke about the trades like the military, the Marine Corps, you'd make fun of the Army, you'd make fun of the Navy, but you still respected each other and you understood that all of them put together is what makes us the greatest fighting force on the planet. We may joke with electricians or joke with plumbers. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we also respect what each other do, and we all understand their importance. There's that mutual respect for what we do because we're all in the trenches. We're all grinding. We're just doing something a little bit different,
Yeah, and that's the thing about this is, like I said, we share these labs with the day school teachers.
Hoorah.
I took 2 days. I went and worked 2 half days last week and came in here and met with the high school students and talked with them 2 days because they do even odd. I took a day off basically and came and talked with them about the trade and everything else. On March 30th, we're doing a tool night for the HVAC classes. And actually the plumbing classes are going to come as well. So we go to Carrier, and I actually invited the high school kids. So I got about 6 or 8 kids that are going to come with their parents that want to get in this industry, and they're going to come and maybe buy a few tools to get their stuff started because they want to get involved in it. So Carrier does a tool night for us. They discount the tool prices, and we've been doing that with them for years. Last semester, we sold over $11,000 in tools just to my students to help them out. And Carrier does this for them to help them out because they know how much the tools cost. So I've been doing this, forever. And it's just, I love it because they bend over backwards to help us out, and we give them business. It's a win-win.
I definitely want to come down and see your school, man. I would be honored to come down there because I think it's awesome. I can't say that enough. I feel like a little babbling idiot, but I hear so many bad things that when you hear something good and you see something like that, it makes me happy. You know what I mean? It really does.
When I talked to you about it, you were like, I could tell you were kind of skeptical, but you could kind of tell I was being serious. Now that you see what we have, now you can see what we do. It's there. I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm going to tell you straight up, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. We have a good success rate. The only way you can fail our classes is if you don't show up or you just don't study for the quizzes or exams.
I hope that people in your class tell them they should watch this show after the fact. And if they do, I want them to listen to what I'm saying. You guys and girls should be grateful for what you have in front of you because you have an awesome class and awesome, teachers who are providing what you need to be successful in the industry. So
we usually sit here in that parking lot after class and BS for about 20, 30 minutes before we actually leave school.
That's cool. You got to build that relationship.
I actually work with two of the other teachers. Of the HVAC program, we have 6 HVAC teachers. 2 of them are Spanish, and 4 of us are English. And we had enough students to where we could create 2 second-year classes this semester. And so I'm actually covering the other second-year teacher's class tonight. I teach third year. My other coworker teaches first year, and my other coworker I work with teaches another second-year class. I brought him in this past semester. I brought my other coworker in the first semester. We have 2 certified plumbing inspectors teaching plumbing, and another guy who's been in the plumbing industry for about 6-7 years teaching plumbing as well. Electrical, we have a master electrician teaching 2 classes, and then we have a new teacher for electrical who owns his own business. He's teaching electrical 1. So we have knowledgeable people teaching these guys the trade.
It sounds like it. Do you have a Michael Pacaselli in your class? Well, we have a comment says, I just put his comment on the top of the screen. It says, you definitely need to make a trip and check it out. I'm in year 2, and it's the best decision I've made when choosing a trade school. And then he said, was live streaming it while in the lab tonight while working on the iConnect wiring board. Michael, thank you for coming on here, man. I'm glad to see somebody in the class watching and commenting. So that's cool. And it's awesome that you sound grateful for what you have because not all schools are like that, man. So you guys are getting taught the way you should be taught. So that's awesome. You appreciate it, man. Do something with that. You can get into the industry and be set up for success.
Now, hey, Mike, now I know why you're on your phone and not doing your classwork. You're playing and watching me.
Hey, he's watching us. Give him a pass. Come on, man. We're gonna have to give you a hall pass, Michael. All right, I'll work this out for you, man.
So
that's funny. I guess, guys, because we're a little bit after 9 now, so we're quite at an hour. If I go too late, my editor charged me extra. So if you guys have any questions for Jimmy, man, let's go ahead and take 5-10 minutes here, whatever. Please put questions in all cap. If you have any questions you'd like to ask about the school, ask him personally. We already know where his nickname comes from, so you guys can stop asking me that damn question because, Jesus, it was popping up. They're like, ask the question. I'm like, Jesus, sorry.
I had to take the little question box. Now I see all the questions, the comments coming in.
Oh, you see them? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
All right, cost. So our program costs $555 a semester. Now, I will say this. One of the guys I teach with and work with, yeah, the HVAC daddy thing is dead. We're not going there anymore. One of the guys I work with, he went to another program, and I'm not going to mention, but they charged him $15,000 for to do the HVAC program to them. When he started teaching here, he goes, I can't believe I could have gotten a better education and spent a fraction of the money.
Yeah, so I guess somebody asked this. So Sam, so he just told you the cost. He said, who is eligible for the class? Like, is it open to anybody, certain people?
So that's why I was saying we're considered adult education because we're in a Chesterfield County Public School and we're not a typical trade school where we can have our own separate building. It's offered to the general public, but we also feed through the HVAC community, not just HVAC, but plumbing and electrical. The companies send their employees to us. Any homeowner or anybody can come take the pro classes as well. We can't just say we're a trade school only because we're an county building. I have some people that come in here, they just want to get the knowledge. We have some people who have, retired and they just want something to do, or they're basically in a program or something like that, disability programs and stuff like that come through here as well. We did try doing it with work release program through the jails, but we had a problem one semester and that got no longer. We had a problem with one student and it got, it just didn't work out. They basically gave the guy free rein and didn't really monitor him properly, didn't let us know what he could and couldn't do. And things got out of hand with it. And they just stopped that program because of the one student ruined it for everybody.
So real fast, so Michael, who's in the class, said, haha, I always get my classwork done. That's why I jumped onto the wiring lab to wire different components. Then he said, thank you for the live stream, Gil. My pleasure, man. I'm honored to let people know what you guys are doing. Jason has another one. Are you guys associated with like the ACCA or PHCC or something like that? Any kind of affiliations?
No, we're not affiliated with any of that stuff there. With ACCA, it's just because that stuff there is a totally different ballpark than what we're doing. We're giving the guys coming through the base knowledge that starts the foundation of their training. You got guys who come in here who are doing installs, they want to go into service. We're giving you that base foundation of what they need to get themselves up there. For HVAC, for plumbing, we're giving them the base foundation of understanding how the pipes are supposed to be run, what kind of pipe size you're supposed to use for drain and waste and everything. Electrical, we're giving them the idea of, okay, this is how many amps can go on this circuit. This is how you're supposed to wire switch. This is how you're supposed to do that stuff. We're giving you that base knowledge. Now, electrical, I'm not sure how much more knowledge it comes for wiring up a house. Plumbing, there is a lot of knowledge between residential and commercial. And for HVAC, we all know how much knowledge there is and how much you can still learn. I've been doing this for 24 years, and I'm still learning stuff to this day.